can't tell you.
He's a tech-savvy guy, gonna show you the way. You better load your bags, cause crypto's here to stay. Listen up, gonna teach you about this and that. But he's just a goofy guy in a straw hat. So join in and have a laugh. It's gonna be a good time, that's a fact. Information and crypto parodies. Sit back and enjoy the show. You just never know which way you'll go. So get ready for Digit Spin Crypto.
Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome to Digit Spin Crypto. Let's make sure my mic's on. All right, let's try it again, just in case you couldn't hear me. Welcome to Digit Spin Crypto. Yeah, obviously I'm Dino, just a crazy guy in a straw hat. Nothing I say is financial information or advice, so don't pretend that it is, okay? It's a Saturday night, and I was working on some stuff. I figured I'd take a break, kind of goof off, and hang out on YouTube. I don't even know how long this live stream's gonna go. I'm just gonna keep going till my mic goes out, or until I get bored, or whatever. So I'll try to interact with you guys that are watching, and we'll go over some stuff and take a look and chat and maybe talk about Star Wars. I don't know. Did any of you guys see Star Wars yet? I was supposed to go see it. I think it's tomorrow. You know, and I've been following all these guys on YouTube that been chatting about it and talking about it, and obviously they're not too thrilled, but I'm still gonna go see it and check it out. It's usually just a matter of if I go to see it a second time or not, but you know, I wasn't as excited to see it because they really kind of wrecked it the last movie, but I'll go check it out. I figure it'll be fun. We'll see what it's all about. Let's see who we got out there. We got Michael's out there, Rick Vipermoto, U-Man, Dave Wally. How you doing, Dave? Good to see ya. Glad you made it. That's pretty exciting. Michael saying, hey Dino. He says, Electroneum's been awfully quiet. What do you think gives? Well, I can't tell you. No. Hey, what? I hate when I say that. What Richard has said is that, and I think Oliver's a great guy. He likes to post a lot of fun stuff. I like reading his tweets. But, you know, he sent out that mail, and he said it was great to, you know, to wish everybody happy holidays, all that good stuff. That round one of the AnyTask beta testing was completed. And that after the holidays, Richard said that they're going to go into round two, which I think he had mentioned about 300 people in it, which is good. This way they can give it a thorough test. So, you know, if you think about it, you know, this isn't our first Christmas with Electroneum. So, we know, you know, a lot of the guys take off, you know, they take their vacation time, and you and me both know that they have a skeleton crew during this time of year until after the New Year's, and it usually takes like a week or so even after that for them to get back on track. So, you know, they'll be working with a a small crew, and I'm sure most of them are probably even going to take off because they're not going to do nothing major. You know, they'll keep things running, but they're not going to do anything major between now until after the New Year's. That's mostly typical. Most companies, nothing gets done this time of year. And, you know, but I want to preface this. You know, when you're doing a beta test of something this grand, if you think about it, now, if I was setting up the beta test, you know, you would have to obviously set up the AnyTask's website for the people you're going to test. So these are things that have to be done. You've got to set up a secondary system, a sandbox is what I used to call, or what we used to call it. I'm assuming that they still call it a sandbox. And you have to set up the website. Now, the website is usually just your front end. It's got some active server pages that interacts with the database. So now you've got to set up a SQL server. All right. So now you got to populate your SQL. So set it up. You got to populate it. You got to set up your web server. You got to have all your code installed. You've got to put it behind some kind of a firewall to test it out. These are the things that I would be doing if I was beta testing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Richard had said that the AnyTasks was gonna pay the people in Electroneum. So you would pay for it with a credit card. So you've got to set up a fake credit card interface, and for them to test it, they would have to obviously be able to have a fake credit card. I would imagine they would have to, you know, sell something or do whatever they're doing to test it. And then I would imagine that when it's all said and done, that you would get paid out in Electroneum, and you've got to test that part. So you would have to set up a whole fake Electroneum website, and you would have to populate that with a database, and then go through the code and probably limit functionality on it, and so that it's in a sandbox. It's not just setting up a website. There's databases and interactions, and so there's a ton of things that would have to be set up if I was doing this to make it available for people to test. And you know, that could easily be a month's worth of work just to set everything up. And then obviously they got it to some testers who I don't remember what the results were or anything. I think Richard said that the round one was a success, and they learned whatever they learned, and they're making whatever changes, or did whatever changes, I don't know. And from there, they're gonna, you know, go to round two. So I would imagine, I don't know if they're gonna, you know, restart over or whatever, but that's not up to me. If I was doing it, I'm not sure. I would have to look at it, but you know, I would probably just leave it and just add more people if I was adding additional beta testing. So this way you don't have to waste time, weeks setting it up again. So I would probably just add more people to it, and they're gonna test it, and you know, you're gonna find bugs, and you know, when I'm doing software and I would do a release on a website and people were using it, I would find serious things where it physically didn't work, or you know, took you to the wrong page, or things didn't upload when I was building portal systems, and then I would get secondary feedback. Hey, you spelt this wrong. You know, there should be. I'd get suggestions. hey, you know, you should put a picture here with a little finger saying do this. You know, you're missing a whole section that you should add that maybe explains how to use this. So, you know, Electroneum's probably going to get that type of feedback from these beta testers. And, you know, they're going to have to probably just get the... I would imagine they're pretty anxious to get this rolled out. From my perspective, and the way I've been watching the videos from Richard, you know, he seems pretty excited to want to get this site online. So that would tend to make me think that they're going to go after major bugs, spelling, interactive flaws. I would imagine. I'm not so sure they would get into suggestions or upgrades yet. I think that they're going to want to get the, you know, just get the tires on the thing and throw an engine in there and let's get it started. And then they could go to upgrades and suggestions and things like that as they're going along, because then you can have, you know, you can have if you don't, you'll have an amazing amount of what we used to call scope creep. And, you know, you would add that feature and then, oh yeah, you should do this too. And then you never end up releasing the darn thing. Or it ends up being 6 months late. So, you know, get out the basics, let people start using it. And keep in mind, you know, it's not like everybody in the world's going to jump on AnyTask and start using the website immediately. You know, so what? You might have 1,000 people, 2,000 people start off with it for the first few months. And that would be, you know, an extensive beta use. You know, you can get the basics down and you get some feedback. And then over those 3-6 months, you can start adding new features and do things. And then as the people start to use it and more people get involved with it, you know, you can start adding more and more features. So if I was in Richard's shoes, and I say this, you know, with 30 years of systems engineering, hardware and software engineering, for some large companies, Fortune 500s, military industrial complex, educational schools and universities, you know, I would get it out there, make sure what's there works, and then I would add additional functionality as I went along. So that's kind of where I'm at, and why I think the question was, how come we haven't heard much from Electroneum? And the fact of the matter is, I think they've been very busy. I know when I used to do the betas and get feedback, I would get inundated with stuff that I didn't realize or notice. And my teams would have to go back out there and make changes and do upgrades. You know, I would get hundreds of immediate bugs and functionality issues, and never mind suggestions and features. So I would tend to think that they've been up to their eyeballs, and since we didn't hear much about it, we knew that Richard said that they were going to beta test, and we didn't hear anything until it was complete. It makes sense to me that during that period of time they were doing a lot of that, and I'm sure there's still a lot of things going on with the partnerships and getting things out. I saw some new job openings. Some new job openings also, so they're picking up more staff. They have more and more things to do. Don't kid yourself. You know, it may be quiet, and we know this time of the year you have to write off these last few weeks. So if you're expecting it, if you're sitting there going, "Hey, are we gonna get some news on Friday?" No, you're not gonna get any news. I think he did mention something about 12 days of Christmas, but I don't think there's 12 days left. So I don't know if that marketing plan went out as well, or is going out, or they're still planning to do that. It'd be nice if they did some giveaways or something like that. That would be kind of neat, relatively easy. But I'm not sure if there's anybody around to do it. I remember the last 2 years that everybody disappeared. Everybody went on vacation. There was just a few people left. I got this coffee. It's a Barney's, and those little K cups. And this one is gushy caramel cream. It's really good. With a little half and half in there. I like tea better than coffee, but this is good stuff. It's not bad. Alright, so I hope I answered your question. No, oh boy. We got everybody out there. Alright, who else we got? Okay. Dave Williard. We went to Dave. We got You Wanna Know Me's out there. Fiat is King. Restnor. Candy Girl. Hey, Candy Girl. Smile More Often. Alright, let's take a look at some of these questions. Let's see what we go through. Because I'm just going to hang out tonight. Tonight looks like a hangout night. Okay. Got my Christmas tree behind me. Got my a fireplace with candles in it. I thought it was a cool picture, so I said, yeah, let's put that in as the backdrop. Alright. Let's see here. What do you think? It's okay. Smile more often. Smile. Smile more often goes, hey Dino, I wish you would have shows every night. You know, here's the thing, Smile. But it was last year. I think I was doing a show every night at 9:30. I would do a live show every night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I'd backfill it with some additional videos. And I wish I would too. My schedule's been awfully rough on me. My work has been taking up a lot of my time. And as you know, I have a full-time job, or if you don't know, I have a full-time job. So, you know, some of these YouTubers, they don't work. They hang out on YouTube and do videos every day. And then try to sell you on Bybit so they make a commission off of your loss or win. I don't do those things. And, you know, if a project wants to talk about their coin, I don't charge for them to come on my show. I do sell for like $25 a 10-second or 15-second commercial if you want to give a commercial. But, you know, I don't charge for that stuff. Those guys do, and then you know they try to get you, like I said, to click on a lot of the referral links so that they can make additional funds that way. So I understand that, you know, they got to make a living, and that's how they're making their living, so that they can just do videos every day, and I can't. You know, I make my earning working on and designing and engineering physical items and displays and what have you, and so therefore, you know, this kind of takes a second fiddle. I try to give it as much attention as possible. I do run commercials on my show. I think I make about $12 a month at the moment. So I don't do this for the money. I do it because I really enjoy doing crypto shows. You know, if I'm today, I was working on my mining rigs, and hopefully we'll have time to talk about that. And you know, and what happened? I got these 1660 Ti cards, really awesome. Anyway, so I try to fit it in as best I can. and hopefully I'll be able to have more time to spend with you guys. What happens is these shows are so long, and not everybody wants to spend the time to listen to the whole show. An hour's a good amount of time. You guys hang out and have some fun with me and all, and we chat about different topics. And there's a percentage of people that do. But what I do is I chop up those shows, and I find like the best segments, because I know only 10% of the people actually watch the video through. So there's 800 people that didn't. And so I grab those little segments and I try to make them little bite-sized 5-minute shows. I'm sure you see those every once in a while. If I thought it was something clever or unique or something useful. And, people will click on a 5-minute thing and they'll listen for 5 minutes, and then they get all antsy and they start vibrating and they gotta go do something else. So, so that's what I do. So I try to make it easy for everybody. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Smell. Okay. Oh, so Michael wants to know. He goes, "Hey Dino, did you make a Varus coin personal ID?" No, I had a little time today, and so I was doing updates on the operating systems. I got maybe 12 rigs running now, plus some ASICs. I don't have all my rigs running. Some of them are down because I couldn't get to them. I had a rig that I was trying to put together with 1660 Ti's. I could not get I could get one card to work, but after that I couldn't get any more cards to work congruently at the same time, or concurrently at the same time. And I spent a lot of last night and today trying to figure it all out. And it ended up, if you go, my first thing I had to do is I had to go, because the card's so new. So if you're gonna have these newer cards, these 2080s, a lot of the NVIDIA, the 1660s. Now I've been buying these 1660 Ti's. They're about $200, $210, and it's for the money. It's an awesome card. They're bringing in. It's bringing in almost as much as my 1080 Ti. Not, it's shy, but it's closer to it than it is not. And that 1080, even now you got to pay $700. I think I paid $1,000 for that card when I got it, but now the best price I seen was $700. So these 1660 Ti's are awesome, really awesome. So what I found out is, because they're so new, the first thing I had to do is I had to go into the BIOS on my on the motherboard and upgrade the BIOS. So I had to go and go to each manufacturer. I try to get blocks of the same motherboards, and this way it's easier for me to deal with if it's similar, the same, and upgrade the BIOS. Then I had to make sure, the only way I can get these cards to work, this was the trick, upgrade the BIOS, make sure that the transmission speed and the other options on the first menu on the BIOS, the other options, make sure it's set to generation 2 on the speed for the PCIe bus communication lane. It's got to be generation 2. And you've got it, the NVIDIA drivers, if you have the internal graphics card set up on the motherboard and active, the NVIDIA drivers kind of flip out and they don't know what to do. They try to incorporate that into the build, and it causes havoc. And your machine slows down, it acts up, it doesn't see all the cards, so you have to deactivate that. So that's what I did, and voila, I got all of them running, but it took me a while to figure that all out. So that's kind of where I've been with that. Let's see here. So I haven't had a chance to test or set up my Varus miner yet. I know everybody's been doing it with the CPU mining. It's supposedly one of the highest paying CPU mining coins that you can get right now, and I'm sure as soon as the FPGA streams become public, that's gonna kind of go away and it won't be as profitable. So you know, if you're gonna do it, you want to grab Varus as soon as possible. Get in there now before it's not gonna be the most highest paying coin. So Varus, and Varus is a good project. Mike Tatangi, we've interviewed him. You can check that out on the website. One of the smartest guys I've ever talked to, and the technology in Varus is spectacular, and hopefully they'll be able to do something with it. Just like every other coin, it's if they can tread water long enough to survive, they'll do fine. And those that have bad management, have a project that's weak and has no functionality, those are gonna go away. Simple as that. But yeah, do yourself a favor, check out Varus. It's something pretty cool. Alright, let's see what else you got here. You want to know me? Hey Dino, great. Good to see you. Yeah, Rick Viper Moto, he's thinking, hey, 2020 is going to be pretty awesome. I'm going to tell you, I know Richard's got a lot of stuff, and he's expressed it, and he's talked about 2020 being an exciting year. He's discussed with Extras Mike. He had a series of interviews, and in one of those interviews he was talking about interacting with a government or a national bank for a country. So if something like that was to happen, that would be pretty significant. So you know, you got AnyTask. You're gonna have upgraded version of instant payment with from what I understand, with subscriptions and all that good stuff. We're gonna have more NGOs come online. I would imagine we'll have more phone company top-up capabilities, and this some partnerships, and I'm hoping there'll be some decent partnerships, and hopefully this large partnership. You know, if all those things transpire, and I have to say the word if, because like Richard said, it was supposed to happen last year, but it didn't, because of the lawyers. Those blood-sucking lawyers. always getting in the way. They, you know, they want to protect everything. And so if all the things happen that the Electroneum is working on, the end of 2020 should look significantly different than it does today. So, you know, and that's what I'm willing to say at the moment. All right. I would be significantly disappointed if we're at the same place today as we are next year. And of course, that's also going to have a lot to do with Bitcoin. You'll have the halving in May, and then you got about 6 months before you'll start to see some stick-to-itness. Is that an actual word? Hey, is that a word? Stick-to-itness? Stick-to-itness. You know, if it sticks to, you know, its historical tracking, everybody should start to see some excitement, specifically Bitcoin, but it'll start to raise everything else up with it as it goes along. You know, also just taking the beatings of the lifetime, everything's really at the discount prices. I always thought about that. Are these the real value, and then they just get inflated during the upswing. But then again, you know, isn't same thing with Bitcoin? Maybe this is the actual value, $7,000. You know, it was $3,000 6 months ago. It's, you know, it's $7,000 now, and that's the actual value, and everything else is just balloon, you know, helium. You're just overpaying at that point. I guess if you're not buying it at the bottom, you're doing it wrong. Fiat is king. Hey, I like your little icon. Fiat says, "I love Fiat." Somebody, hey, there we go. Let's see if Fiat loves. Let's see if he enjoys. There you go. There's some Fiat for you. We'll have a money drop. There you go. So now you have something. You can say, "The Digitprint Crypto. He sent me Fiat." There you go. We'll let it rain. Fiat is king reported. I don't know. What is all that? Candy Girl. Candy Girl says hi. Good to see you there, Candy Girl. Hope you're doing your dance things. What do they call that? The DJing. And that's working out for you. She says, "Can you do a live interview with Richard?" You know, I'm pretty much a nobody. Yeah, I'm on YouTube and I'm mumbling and yeah, I've been with Electroneum for quite a long time, and yeah, I'm a big supporter. But, you know, Electroneum doesn't owe me anything. However, you know, I did contact them and asked Richard to put me on the list. You know, I'm sure he gets inundated, and I'm sure he's forgotten by now. You know, I'll send another tickler or contact or whatever you want to call it to him and say, "Hey, just let you know I'm still interested." You know, and it's also pretty good that he's getting outside of the normal circle of folks that follow him, that follow Electroneum, and to get the word out to those that follow different topics, subjects, or coins. So, from my perspective, if I was the CEO, I would prioritize those to encroach into different areas so that you can get the word out for Electroneum. I'm hoping that they don't forget about those, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not even sure Electroneum knows who I am. Richard seemed to know who I was when he replied back to me, but yeah, I'll be honest, I don't even know if they know who I am. I would assume that they follow their own social media, but yeah, I would love to do an interview or just a chat, have a beer, whatever. Now, would Richard do a live show? Probably not. I don't think, I know that if I was looking at it, I don't think that I would do a live show per se, unless it was extremely controlled environment, because you know, he like, let's say I'm discussing with Richard doesn't know who I am. Yeah, you know, I'm an older guy, I run a company, you know, I have responsibilities, I consider myself an honorable person, but you know, there's a lot of people out there in the world, and you know, he doesn't know who I am, and doing something live, I think, would be a risk. No matter who he's discussing or talking with, would probably be a risk. So I'm not sure that Richard would do many live interviews, but it's possible. All right, let's see what else we got here. Smile more often. Let's see what he has to say. We need more entrepreneurs to step up and create a real ecosystem. The only way we can succeed is to be used worldwide. With a top-up is the top-up is just a drop in the sea. Yeah, that's true, and it's a process. The key is going to be down to, how many people got it on their phone, got the Electroneum app installed on their phone. So that's really the key. And they really need to continue to focus on trying to get people to install the app on the phone. Once they start using it, interacting with it, they can then buy things instant payment with it, and they may find it useful to pick some up, or they have the ability to earn it by doing a gig on AnyTask. And every time that somebody pays or purchases a gig, that's going to be buying up some Electroneum, making it more rare, and therefore ultimately bringing the price up. Keep in mind, there's 21 million total. There's about 9.9 billion. There's 9.9 billion currently in circulation. So just under half. And if you keep an eye on the markets, I don't know if any of you guys watch the market, the different exchanges on CoinMarketCap, you can see that when we get just a little bit of extra volume, the price starts to swing up dramatically. And there's no doubt in my mind that we're probably going to see, when the time is right, we're going to see it move quickly. I think that's what's going to happen, because I personally would love to see it stay low like this for a little bit longer, so I can get as much as I can. While it's still cheap, I can't spend all my money at one time. And Christmas, I gotta buy my wife, a gift. I made her something really nice, and and so I can't put all my funding into it, and it happens over time. And and I got some ASICs mining, so that they produce X amount of Electroneum every day. And it's not significant, but it's nice to be able to collect it if the price goes up and the other coins don't, because I have to mine something else, take those coins and convert them into Electroneum. So if Electroneum becomes more than the other ones, I'm going to get a lot less Electroneum. So quite frankly, I'm liking with the price staying low for a little bit longer till it blasts off. But as you start to get usage on it, it's gonna be more of a snowball effect. This is not gonna be something hey, AnyTask is online. How come the price not a quarter? This is something that everything they drop out into the wild. The upgraded instant payments. They go to the show. They get another NGO. You get another telephone company that's gonna interact, or another country that we're gonna put online. This creates momentum. It's a huge snowball, and at first the momentum is not very much. As the thing starts to move, it's easier to make it move faster, because it's in motion already. And this is where we're at now. 6 months ago it started to physically move. Alright, so this is the year I think we're going to start to pick up a little bit of momentum. And it's going to take years. When you buy a crypto, I don't know what your friend told you, but if he told you buy crypto and you become a millionaire overnight, he's lying to you. Okay? even the guys that became multimillionaires who got Bitcoin early on had to wait 8 to 10 years. They waited a minimum of 8 years to become multimillionaires. 8 years, and they had the biggest gains that you will never see again. In that beginning portion, what was it, 100,000x? A million X if you bought it, you know, in 2000, if you got it in 2009, 2010, you're looking at a million. If you had every dollar you put in is worth $1 million, you'll never get gains like that ever again out of Bitcoin. And it took 8-9 years. 8 or 9 years. If you're buying crypto, you're gonna be holding on to it for 8 or 9 years. Now, you may swing trade here, and it drops down to a penny, and then, and you buy some, and it goes up to a dime, and you sell it off. But for the most part, hopefully you buy and sell at the right time, where you either have more, or you've made a little bit of income during that period of time, that you still have some at the end. 8 years. 8 years. It's a function that you've got to have. You got to have a period of time where the emissions calm down, then things all happen. These are for general coins. We've only had 2 halvings on Bitcoin, just 2. So it's going to take time, and if you're buying, you're going to have to hold on to it for a while. I think Electroneum is going to see some excitement. I think that, like I said, this time next year, I think we're going to start to see a difference in the price. I will honestly be disappointed if we're still at 0.3 cents this time next year. I would be disappointed. I wouldn't sell my Electroneum, because if that happened, that means something major happened throughout the entire market, or something else had happened. I would be disappointed. I'm holding my Electroneum 4 to 8 years. 4 years I think is good, but 8 years if you really want gains. All right, let's see what else we got here. Rich Snor's going, hey, just pump it up, pump. So Katie Girls goes, where's the 20 countries by the end of the year? Lots of left. Yeah, Richard even talked about that. He goes, that was my goal, 20 countries. I know they get, what do they get in? 5, 6, or what have you. The others are in play. They just haven't been rolled out yet. So, they'll be rolled out. And the fact of the matter is, altcoin top-ups, you can top off in any country in the world. So, it kind of does the job. Costs a little bit more, but it does the job. Electroneum hasn't said it's not going to happen. It's just taking longer. That's all. Oh, always takes longer. One thing in software, it always takes longer than you expect. Always. Claudio. Hey, Claudio, how you doing? Only I want for Christmas is mass adoption. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be honest here. I think that Electroneum is one of the coins that literally has the ability to make that happen. Bitcoin clearly has a lot of folks working on trying to make that happen for it, whether it be through Lightning or sidechain or whatever they want to do. The fact of the matter is, that's probably a given, but Bitcoin is more of like because it's a community project, it's like a government project. It'll cost twice as much and take twice as long. And you got somebody like Electroneum, they're nimble, They're going around, even though we think it's slow as can be. I'm gonna tell you something. Electroneum's making a lot happen for a corporation. Electroneum's not a project anymore. It's not a community project. It's not a project. It's a company. It's Electroneum Limited. All right. So you have to keep this in mind. This is not a community project or something that people are just working on in their basement. It's not just a basic coin. It's Electroneum Limited. It's a corporation. Electroneum is a company, and their goal is to make money ultimately going forward. They're using all the startup money to get things rocking and rolling, giving away a lot of free services, giving away some of the coins, trying to build some motion, some excitement to make this thing happen, get people using it, give them that free sample, give them a way to buy it, give them a way to top it up, work on ways to get it into retailers, find a government that'll make it an officially state-accepted currency, get the lawyers out of the bag, get the lawyers out of here. Because the companies are scared. They're scared. They're scared. They saw what happened to... Listen, they saw what happened to Facebook. The guy got called into Congress. There's no CEO on the planet of this, on the face of this planet, that wants to get called into Congress and harassed by a bunch of buffoons in Congress. And they're buffoons. 90% of them are complete mental patients. And that's the last thing that they want. So they're going to stay away from that. Simple as that. Alright, let's see here. Hey, Michael, thanks for taking care of that bad message there. Appreciate that. Okay. Okay, Candy Girl's going, hey, Dino, I was wondering how many of Electroneum does Richard have? I estimate 1 billion. No, actually not. There's only 21 billion coins, and when they were initially... I actually did all the math and broke it down. I want to see if I can find it. I'm hoping I was smart enough to save that in one of my files. I don't know if I was. There's a good chance I'm not that smart. Let's see here. Let's go to video. Let's scour the network servers here. And I'm gonna take a look under the digit spin show. And let's go to Electroneum. Was I smart enough? Electroneum. Regulatory guides. When Electroneum will be $5. Let me see, these are all things I got going here. How we all steal your coins. These are things I'm working on. I could have swore I put in here the math. Mining values. Let's see what that says here. Okay, let's see. Okay, hey, I was smart enough. Ha! Alright. Let's see, let's bring this up here. Okay. Let's stop making it rain. Let's turn off that. Let's move the chat. So let's talk about this. Because this is important to know and understand. Alright. So, initially, Electroneum went out and they gathered, people sent in their Ethereum, and for whatever Ethereum they sent in, they were being awarded. I'm going to lower that audio just a little bit as they say tiptoe. make that music a little bit more backgroundy. All right. So whatever they collected, they then had to pay out. Now there was a total of 21 billion. So 12.6. All right. 12.6 were pre-mined. There was a total of 12.6 billion coins pre-mined out of the 21 billion total that were available. So when they started the blockchain, they pre-mined those and they put them into a wallet off to the side. And then that left 8.4 billion. Those 8.4 billion coins could only be earned through mining. Physical mining, not mobile mining. Physical mining. So that meant that initially we were mining with GPUs and CPUs, and those guys were earning, we were earning a lot of Electroneum, 10,000, you know, and all this other good stuff. And then that converted into ASICs. And I think when the ASICs first came out, you could literally make, I think it was like, I don't know, 5,000 coins a day with an ASIC. And more people got ASICs, and then you didn't earn as much. And I think when they shut down the ASICs, I was earning maybe 250 Electroneum per day per ASIC. And then they changed it to proof of responsibility. So whatever coins are left out of that 8.4 billion that had to be physically mined are now only available to the proof of responsibility folks. In other words, NGOs. Only the NGOs can mine, because they're keeping the network running, can mine what's ever left of that 8.4 billion coins. All right, now out of the 12.6, it's broken down like this. 5.3 billion coins were paid for to the ICO folks. Everybody sent in their Ethereum, and they said, hey, I want some Electroneum. Here's my ETH. And they got X amount. So when they stopped everything, it came to a total of 5.3 billion coins they distributed. So out of the 12.6 that they put to the side, they took 5.3 billion of those and gave them to the people who paid for them. The initial investors got their coins. They took 7 billion coins and they put it in a special wallet for the mobile miner only. There's 7 billion coins in reserve, or what do they call that when you give it to a lawyer and he holds on to it? Lawyers. So in trust, or whatever you want to call it, they have 7 billion, or had 7 billion for the mobile miners, and that's how they pay out those 100 coins or 300 coins, or that $3 up to $3 worth every month to people around the world. It comes out of this 7 billion bucket, and it doesn't grow. There's no way to make more. All right, and they had to be pre-mined because the Electroneum doles them out, and as they become worth more, they don't have to give as many. Therefore, that 7 billion would last longer. They might be able to do this program for 20 years. If Electroneum stays at a half a penny for the next 20 years, they're going to run out of coins in 8 because they have to give away so many. So as the price goes up, instead of giving away 300 coins a month to equal $3, if they're $1 a piece, you only have to give out 3 coins a month to equal $3. And therefore they could give away coins for the next 30 years. That's the 7 billion that went to the mobile miner. Now, 300 million went to Electroneum projects and the people of Electroneum. So special developers, maybe executives got you know, maybe a $5 million ETN reserve because they were, you know, hired on as a vice president, or maybe they have. So, you know, I'm sure Richard has these things squirreled away. And if you're here for 5 years and you're vested and you do a good job, you know, you'll be awarded 5 or 10 million Electroneum. I'm sure, you know, if I was Richard, I'd probably say 100 to 150 million probably went to Richard. And that's just bullshit coming out of my mouth. I have no idea anything that's true or not. I'm looking at it from my perspective. I would probably take a third to half at most. I wouldn't take any more than that, because you want to be able to entice, you want to get good people. You know, the guy that's coming in from UNICEF, you know, I'm sure he'll get so many in dollars as a salary, and then he'll get maybe a 10 million ETN bonus. Again, bullshit coming out of my mouth. I have no idea what these numbers are. I'm just making this up, except for there's 300 million that can go to ETN, to people, towards the project to fund things. There's 300 million available for that. Now, and the object is you say, hey, you know, if you help us make this happen, you'll get a salary, and we'll put into reserve for you the, you know, 10 million Electroneum. You help us get it to $1, and you got $10 million. It's in your best interest to make this work, okay? Because, you know, they're in reserve for you. You get a contract. I've been an executive of public companies, chief information officer for a few public companies, and, you know, part of the package was your salary, and then you would have options. And in this particular case, you would have these in reserve, and as long as you performed or you met your P&L budget or whatever, you would acquire these bonus coins. So, you know, there may just be a limit of, you know, how much time you have to invest or whatever. You know, that's Electroneum's business, not mine. I can only give examples. So the answer to your question is no, there's not billions going to Richard, and probably, like, my guess is 100 to 150 million. If it was me, I would put in reserve, and that doesn't mean I wouldn't give them away. I would probably squirrel away that 150 million, start to give away, and then if I had some exciting person I wanted to bring on board and I needed to tap into that, I can give it to that person. So that equals the 12.6 billion pre-mined. So that's the total of all the coins in account form. Now, when I did this, there was you know, 7.5 billion in circulation. All right, and I was just going through what's available, you know, and what can be mined, and a lot of this was based on the rate when it was publicly mined. So all this information isn't as good as it used to be. So, you know, I was calculating out, you know, how many years you know, you'd be able to give away coins for, and you know, in gains. Let's see, what did I have an idea here? From that work, I think we could see 500x gains by year 7. So that's my thought I did a year and a half ago, was that we could see upwards of 500x gains in year 7. And this comes back to what I was telling you guys before. You've got to be in this 4 to 8 years minimum. That's what it took for the Bitcoin guys to get where they are today, and they had the wind of amazement in their sail. There's nothing else like Bitcoin, nothing that was going to compete with it, and their sails were full, blowing them upstream at full speed, and it took them 8 years. Okay? So you can see here, even year and a half ago, whatever, I was marking this. 4 to 5 years. So anyway, that's the breakdown of the coins, where they went, who got them. And no, Richard's he's not a hog or a he designed this to be a very fair and equitable process. I think I was kind of surprised that there was only 300 million reserved for the project and the people. I think that they basically, they took the edge of the prime rib and that was about it, and they didn't steal the whole prime rib. Almost all the coins, 300 million is peanuts compared to the size of the project and where the coins are going and where they're reserved for. Now, there are 7 billion that are in reserve for the mobile miner. And the truth is, Richard has control over that initial 7 billion mobile miner coins. Because they're centralized coins, I don't believe there's any way for us to actually know how many were actually given away. I personally believe and trust Richard. He seems to be an up-and-up guy. At this point, he's given me no reason to doubt or to question his integrity. There's nothing that he's done that makes me spooky or skittish about what he says, except for that he's so excited he wants to get the stuff done, and it always takes longer than he expects, or should I say the developers think, because he wouldn't be saying those things if the developers didn't say, yeah, we can get that done in about a month, and then they start building it and realize this is going to take 3 months. Okay, but Richard's never given me any reason to be skittish. But the truth is, they have control over those 7 billion coins, or what's left of the 7 billion coins. And I have not seen, nor would I expect them to, give us an accountability of that. It's none of our business. However, it would be nice to know. But I expect them all to be given out, and I have no doubt that Richard will be, completely truthful and transparent to make sure that those are all given out. And like I said, it could take 20 years to give them out. You can calculate it out now. You figure you got how many people mining? 200 and something thousand. People mining. Not everybody's getting $3, and everybody's getting 300 coins. I get 100 coins a month. Guys in the targeted countries are getting more than that. So you can average it out, maybe a 150 coin average times how many people. I don't know. Let's see if we can type in here. And you guys, it's late for me, so if I screw up the math, stick your finger in my ear and tell me. Alright. So I'm thinking, let's say 225,000. And you're giving away 150 coins. So, we're like 33 million a month times 12. So, $500 million a year. So, if it doesn't grow any, if it stays 225,000 miners in perpetuity, and there's 7 billion, that's 14 years of coins available. If the price stays exactly the way it is, and we don't gain any more miners, we can give away coins for the next 14 years on the mobile miner. Now, the goal is you want to have more people. You want to have 1 million people. 5 million, 10 million people mining. And at that point, and so you're going to go through a lot of the coins. But at that point, you would tend to think that the coins will be worth more. So if you're going to go up 10 times, you would hope that the price goes up 10 times so it stays equal and you still got 14 years. But the problem lies is if you add 10 times the amount of people to give coins to and the price stays the same, you're now giving away 10 times the coins. I'm now giving away a lot more coins. And this may be part of the reason why we're not seeing a lot of countries being rolled out. You pick a couple of this is my personal opinion. I'm just making this shit up as I go. Alright? But my personal opinion, I would look at the math. Let's hit a couple of these key countries. Let's see if we can get it rocking and rolling. Let's get the AnyTask working. Let's try to get some other good news. And let's see if we can get see a response. I wasn't going to say get the price going. Let's see if we see a response in the price. People using it. So that the price goes up and we don't have to give away as many coins. If they had to give away 10 times this, you're looking at 4 billion. You're looking at 2 years. You'd be able to give away coins for 2 years before you ran out. Not 14 years. 2 years you'd be out of mobile miner coins. And then what? And I think Richard said this. He goes, what we're going to do? Just blow all these coins out there and in 2 years and then have nothing? Nothing to give away, nothing to entice, and then what? So it would make sense to me. Pick a couple of specific countries. Let's get them rolling. Let's see if it starts to translate into more users. Let's see what it does to the price. Let's get the AnyTask. You pick these countries that that have the most need for this type of a solution. So when the AnyTask comes online, maybe they'll start to sell their services on there. People will buy the services. By them buying it, it'll start to create value on the exchange because they need to purchase or secure these coins to be able to pay the worker. And if there's enough work, then they're getting the coins out. The people are now earning it, but Electroneum's not giving them away. They're earning them. The people who are paying for the service are using that credit card. They're getting paid in Electroneum. There's a conversion. Those coins have to be bought somehow. And let's see if that starts to pick up on price. Let's see, that slow incline where there's more volume. And like I said, if you watch, you see the volume spike, the price goes right up with it. Whenever there's a volume spike, the price immediately starts an inward climb. It's like clockwork. Alright? So, once they can get these things being bought up, that price is going to start to go up. Now that the price has gone up, it doubles or it goes to 2 cents or a penny. Let's say 2 cents. That's 4 times less coins. So instead of 300 coins, I only have to give 75 coins. Now we can start adding more countries. I can add 3 more countries, 4 more countries. Start getting it out there and let that snowball, let it keep building, success build on itself. Alright, their business model needs to have the price increase. I assure you, behind closed doors, and I say assure you because I'm just blabbing this shit out of my mouth, that they're going, we need the price go up. I assure you they're not happy with the price being low, but they can't magically make it happen. They can't go out to the internet and say, "Hey, you, come over here." Who, me? Yeah, you, come here. You need to buy some Electroneum. They can't force anybody to buy Electroneum. All right? That ain't gonna happen. But you can make it more rare. They have the ability to make it more rare. And that's what they did by going to proof of responsibility, lowering the emissions, creating the AnyTask so it buys up anything that's out there and tries to scoop up the loose coins. And you got people like me, keep the price low because I can only shovel these in so fast into my bag. I can't fill up all my bags. Hey, slow down. You can't, with 21 billion coins, you get lost like that's, you're talking, mixed Scrooge quantities of coins, mixed Scrooge quantities of coins. There's only so many you can fit in the bag, tie it up, stick it in the back of your pickup or whatever you're doing. And, there's only so fast that the hodlers can grab them. And I assure you that there's a lot of people out there that see clearly what's going to happen and are, to the best of their financial ability, that doesn't get them wrecked and, trying to gather those coins. And it's coin versus time. You can only grab so many at a time, You only have so much funds available to you. You might have an extra $20 a week that you can put into this. Some people may have $100 a week that they can put into it. There are others that have millions of dollars and they just go stomp out there and grab what they want. And it's different to every person. So you grab what you can. I grab my 20. I have my ASIC miners make me 1,000. I'm all excited. Hey, I got 1,000 coins. I need more time. I gotta keep making. I'm spinning the wheel. I got 1,000 coins. Okay. So you keep it going, trying to get as many of these as you can before the price goes up. Let's see here. So, I think that was an awesome answer. I'm not going to ask you if I answered your question. I'm going to tell you, I damn did answer your question. Okay. Oh, I didn't want that one up there. Let's see here. Let's see. So we got Bruce out there. Bruce says, ETN. Good deal. I agree with you. ETN. All right. Crypto Dog, my good friend. Good to see you out there. And he's looking forward 2020, 2025. Electroneum Philippines. How you doing, guys? It's good to see you. Glad you made it to the show. Mr. Paul. My buddy Paul. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Paul. I'm not going to crush your head today. I'm going to wish you Merry Christmas. There you go. So, Electroneum Philippines says, post it on Twitter. The community will help to make it possible for you to interview with Richard Elves. That's a good idea. We'll we'll shame him into it. Hey, you need to speak with Dino Digitspin. Yeah. Hey. Get Richard on the phone. We got Staff Sergeant of the Marines. Good to see you there, my friend. Long time no see. Merry Christmas to you. XXYY. Also, Merry Christmas to you. Or whatever holiday you guys celebrate. I say Merry Christmas because I celebrate Christmas. Oh, I was born. I was born. Yep, not hatched. I actually was born. I don't think my family was super religious, but I enjoy Christmas, and religion has its proper place. And you know, I always wish happy holidays, although they all seem to celebrate this time of year. So happy celebrations to you and whatever deity that speaks to you. Okay. Let's see here. Nice save, Dino. Unfortunately, I'm so late on these here, I'm not sure what that was relative to. So, World Citizen, good to see you out here. Job Mingler. Job Mingler is saying, hey, Dino, it's good to see you. Like your goofy hat. Now, I just threw that in, but... let's see here. What is he saying? Job Mingler. What about the energy coin? And... You're asking me to speak in German? Michelin coin in Germany. I have no idea. Energy coin. A lot of people getting them free. Price has been stable or reasonably up. I think that as more and more people get them, they're going to cash them in. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure, downward pressure on the coin. I think it'll stay at a reasonably high price, but the fact of the matter is there's no function yet. It's not functional yet, to the best of my knowledge. If I'm incorrect, please put it in there, but I haven't seen it actually I have not seen it actually being in use. It's still an idea or where they want to take it. It's not Electroneum, where they actually have their stuff working and functioning and rolling it out. They may be working on it. But, you know, the one thing I learned when I got in 3 years into crypto, and, you know, ooh, look at this one. You know, they're gonna crypto coin for cars, and look at this one here. This one's gonna be medical records, and, you know, and I'm like, so I'm buying these coins and everything, and over the years, what I've learned is bah humbug. If I don't see you have the stuff built, I ain't giving you my money. I ain't buying your coins. That doesn't mean that they're not going to make somebody money because they'll hype it, and stuff, but there's nothing there that's going to keep it going in the long term. And I don't like to sit there and buy and sell and buy and sell. I don't have time for that. I don't want to pay taxes on that. I just want to buy the coins, sit on them for 4 years, and hopefully see a benefit. And the only way I'm going to see a benefit is if I see a project or a company like Electroneum who's actually got stuff that's out there now, has a game plan, is continuing to work it, things I can see what's happening. Absolutely 100%. I go with that. And I have no intention of buying energy. If you decide to buy it, I'm not saying it's a bad project. I have not done an extensive research on it. I can't tell you. There'll always be winners and losers on those things, and I personally only buy things where I see that things are working. Ethereum. They've got the D-apps. They were the first mover advantage. People build stuff on it. DeFi is being built on it. It functions, it works, and I see that they're doing updates and upgrades. I'll pick up a coin. Bitcoin, you can't go wrong. It's proven, it works, it's secure. It's the safest one out there. Out of all of them, it's the safest one at this moment. It's what everybody's going to be buying. So it's going to be worth more. I'll buy a coin. Alright? There's very few that I'll invest in. I'll mine the crap out of some of these other coins, and then I'll hold on to them and see what happens. Yeah, put them in my back pocket. 4 years, I'll check it out. See if I got a lucky scratch-off number. See if it made me something. You know, if you see a project that you like, you know, put your money where your mouth is and get yourself some. But do yourself a favor. Make sure that they actually have something working. The time for vaporware And this is the reason why so many people, I think, some of these YouTubers and Tonevays and all these guys, they become these Bitcoin maximalists. Because they see all these empty promises being sold to people in these ICOs and IEOs and Matic and all these other things. Matic. Only 20% of the coins are available to the public. The rest are owned by, Binance and the VCs. They control the coin. That's not a fair distribution. Why would you put your money in that? Are you nuts? What's wrong with you? That's like giving your money to the mob. Or going to Vegas vacation. They got the wheel and tick, 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 tick. You lose. The guy pushes the button. You're gonna lose. You can't win that. The house has the favor. 95% favor in their way. You ain't gonna win something like that. Now, I look at a couple of highly speculative coins. I collect some web dollars. I mine web dollars and I collect them. I don't know what's going to happen with that project. They could go away. They could disappear. They could turn out to be, an average Joe project and be successful. They could get a VC and all of a sudden get all this marketing and, I don't know what's going to happen with them. But I mine it. I'm not paying for them right now at the moment. If you want to buy some, you buy some. I was lucky enough to be able to mine them before it went to all proof of work. So I have enough that will mine now that it's proof of work. So if you're new into it, you can earn a small amount. If you ask, I can give you a couple hundred coins to get you started. And then you can proof of work it. But if you don't have any, you have to buy some. Some people, they'll buy 1 million coins for, I don't know, $200. And then let them stake. But they, doesn't mean that I don't know what's going to happen to that. I'm not expecting anything to happen with it. It's fun to collect them, and I think the project's pretty decent, and we'll see what they do with it. It's really speculative. I expect to lose my money. I expect to lose all of the electricity I'm spending on my CPU. This is a CPU mine, so it's no big deal. It takes very little electric. But if it works out, I'm in good shape. There's a lot of projects like that right now. If you think about it, how many pages are on CMC? Let's bring that damn thing up. Boy, I could use a Bailey's Irish Cream right now. Let's see. I haven't had one of those in 6 months. Let's see here. Get my head out of the way. Alright, how many pages are there? I don't know, let's do a view all. What's there, like 2,500 coins? Let's slide this down here. Load more. Oh, I'm so... I don't know. Any of you guys know how many... I don't want to sit here and just keep loading. Up to 2,000 coins. There's got to be somewhere it tells you how many freaking coins that they have on here. Rankings, tools, currency card, snapshot, blockchain, site widgets, global charts. From what I understand, it's a minimum of 25 cryptocurrencies. Look at it right up here. If I pay attention, I'd see it. 4,956. There's 4,956 different cryptocurrencies. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? There's absolutely no purpose 99% of those serve. That's craziness. There's just so much that's just utter nonsense. Okay? Complete and utter nonsense. If you have a coin that's in the first 2 pages, you have to take those seriously. That's 200 out of 4,956. So, you know, kind of stick on page 1 or 2, okay? And unless you find some real outlander, you know, in the 400s. Right? If you're hitting in the thousands, all right, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time because 4,700 of those coins are going to disappear. Absolutely guaranteed. There's no reason for them. It's craziness. I used to be excited. Oh, look at all these coins. Look at all these coins. I can get this one. I can get this one. It's craziness. Then I grew up. Started really, what the hell am I doing? These are all nonsense. This is just baloney. It's just a way to take money. They're just taking your money. You're manipulating. They're taking your money. It's craziness. You guys scared me up. Enrique Loco, he says, "I like your fedora." Hey, actually, I think it's a different name. There's another name for a fedora. That actually this specific style of hat. It begins with an N, I think it is. Shoot. Now you're gonna make me look that up too. Now. Fedora. There's another word. Let's see if I can find the darn thing. Ubuntu. There it is. An Ubuntu. Alright. No. Fedora is the most popular for Red Hat Linux. Oh, look at that. So, Ubuntu is the operating system for Linux. Alright, come on, Dino. Get it together. Spaz. Alright. There's another name for this darn hat. What the heck is it? Fedora hat. I know there's another name for it. One of you guys have got to come up with it. Here you go. He's laughing at me. Come on, you guys. You guys are smarter than me. You should know what the heck this is. Darn, I can't. Another name for fedora hat. Let's see if we can type that in. Oh, there it is. Tribly. Tribly. It's a Tribly. T-R-I-L-B-Y. Tribly. Tribly fedoras. It's got its own unique category because Tribly fedoras are easy to travel with because of their crushability. They come with classic pre-snap shapes, easy to wear. Let's see that. Tribly. I remember somebody telling me about. He called it a Tribly, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's a Tribly." Let's see here. The fedora actually isn't one specific kind. See, the fedora has got that wider brim. I got it's more of a cop, you know, from the 50s. Hey man, hey, ma'am, just the facts, ma'am. Look more like a policeman. Alright, you got that Tribly. This one here, I think, is the was that the bull nose. And I think this one's called, the style of this one is more of it's called a Tribly, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's see, business, college, cafe. Let's see. Hey, there's my buddy Capone. Hey, ow! Need to see you, man. He looks like a big guy, huh? Yeah, Humphrey Bogart. Now, this is an Australian look. See, this is not a fedora in any fashion. It's maybe it's in the family, but this is definitely an Australian cut of the hat. I have one of these, an official one. It's got an Indiana Jones stamped right on it. I don't know where the frick that thing is. That's Miner 49ers hat. I have to go find it. Find this silly thing. But yes, I like the hat. I think it's fun. Let's see what we got here. World Citizen. Yeah, World Citizen saying, hey, you guys. He's saying, hit that like and subscribe button. Yeah, do me a favor. Hit the like button. If you're here, if you've been here this long, listening to me mumble, you damn better have pressed the like button. What the heck are you listening to me for if you didn't like it? What is that, huh? And if you really don't like me, and but you still like to listen to me mumble, that's okay too. But hit the like button. There's only 17 of you out there, so. Let's see. Rishnorg. Clairvoyant's got bags. Yeah, he's saying, pay attention. No, a lot of the information's right in front of your face. Not everybody has the time to research. Just like I don't have that time to do a show every day. A lot of people they got their lives going on. Their kids they got to take care of. You got to get them to school. Got to make them lunch. You got to go to work, deal with some obnoxious boss like me. And you don't have time to research everything. A lot of people are not familiar with the technology, wouldn't understand what's trying to be said or how it's explained because they're just not familiar enough with the tech. And so it's hard. So I try to break it down for you guys. They give you the soups and nuts and, kind of how I see it to make it easier for you. But the information is out there, especially with Electroneum. If you listen to what Richard says and you pay attention to his words and you put them together because he gives clues in each interview that's a little bit different than the other one, you can pick up a lot. You can pick up a real lot. I'm talking empire-sized lot. And it is a lot there. Yeah, would I like to see Electroneum worth more? Yeah. Would I like to see my Bitcoin worth more? Yeah. My Ethereum? Yeah, my Ethereum went down $120. Yeah, I want to see all my crypto going up, not just Electroneum, all of them. They're all in the same boat. All right. Let's see here. Rick Viper says, 100% agree. Worst case scenario, Richard needs this at 1 penny ICO price. This is why, in my humble opinion, if you believe in the team as I do, worst case, I'll more than double my invite at my initial, I would imagine your investment is what you're saying there, at this price. Yeah, absolutely. You want to be scoring at this price so that when it hits that penny again, you've already started off with doubling your money. better than a blackjack table. My coffee's cold. Enrique Loco, go baby go into ETN. we need a picture there, Enrique. You gotta give us a little graphic so we can see Enrique Loco. Paulie, hey Paulie, what do you think we can expect when full instant payment system is released? Do you think drop shipping could take off using ETN instant payment? I'm not sure specifically how that would affect drop shipping. Okay, so this is me. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, my thought is if I pay attention to what instant payment does today and over the last year what they want instant payment to do, I would tend to think but not limited to the following. I would tend to think, obviously, the instant payment part works fine. It instantly pays, and that works good. They've added some new features into the phone, so you can put in an amount, and instead of just an ETN amount, you can put in a fiat amount, and it would send the proper amount of Electroneum. So that's good. They added the ability to send a URL. And be careful with that. If somebody sends you a URL and you click on it and you accidentally hit enter, you're gonna send somebody put on the Telegram channel a link for sending 1 million ETN. And so, I'm like, what the heck is this link? I click on it and it brings up my wallet and it wants to send 1 million Electroneum. I'm like, whoa! Who's trying to steal somebody's trying to steal my Electroneum? God, get that goddamn link off my channel. Who the heck put that on here? I'm like, get that up there. You gotta be real careful. If you see link.electroneum.com or whatever, not to click on that unless you're paying attention. And so things that I would expect them to add. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the ability to have a subscription where you can you can do a sale. So in other words, a vendor can say it's 10 Electroneum each month, and you're signing up for 12 months. So the subscription would come over, and your URL code would come up, and it would say you're signing off and agreeing to 10 Electroneum every month, the same date it is today, for the next 12 months. Press pay. And you press pay, and then the vendor gets his first 10 Electroneum. And every month, your wallet is going to automatically send that vendor 10 Electroneum so that you can have a yearly subscription. And then I would imagine your subscriptions would show up. There's going to have to be an update to the phone software, the app, the phone app, and then there will probably be a little tab that says subscriptions, and you'll be able to click on that, and you'll be able to see, oh, I got a subscription to Electroneum Weekly, Sock of the Month Club, whatever you're signing up for. Just don't ask Rick Vipermoto. He's probably doing some motorcycle thing or car. He gets a new car every month. So that would automatically go, and you'd be able to see it in your subscriptions. And I would tend to think at the end of the year it'll say your subscription is expiring. Do you want to continue it or extend it? If Electroneum is smart, they might give the vendor the ability to say, hey, let them sign up. You can send them a note. Hey, your subscription, if you click now, we'll save you, we'll give you a month free, so that they click again and continue another 12 months. Another thing I think that they're going to add is the ability to do a refund. So you receive, you sent me, hey, I want this Electroneum bracelet, and you send me 100 ETN, and I go to send 2 of these, 50 Electroneum each, and inside the box you open it up and there's only one. And you send me a message, you say, hey, Mr. Digitspin, your shipping guys, nice job packaging it, but I ordered 2 and I got 1, and and I don't need the second one. Can you refund me the difference? And so I should be able to then go and see, because there's going to have to be some kind of accounting system that shows. There's going to have to be an accounting system that says, Joe Blow sent you 100 Electroneum, invoice number such and such, and I should have the ability then to go to that invoice and say, I'm going to issue a refund for 50 Electroneum, send, and it'll then send back to you 50 Electroneum as a refund, and it'll be marked in your wallet 50 Electroneum received as refund from transaction number or invoice number. There's a lot that has to go into. There's modifications to the SQL server, the database structure. There's going to be modifications to the app. There's going to be modifications to the website. To add all of these features is, and you guys ask, how come we're not hearing what's going on? Because of shit like this. There's so much to do all that functionality, to have that interactive capabilities instead of just a one-way push. There is a ton of code that has to be performed, and it has to be modified across multiple different systems, and so that these systems can all interact with each other correctly and effectively and properly. And it's not just, hey, you know, it's not just building a website. It's not. There's a lot of stick-to-itness that has to be done to make all these things happen. And this is the reason why you don't hear from them. They're like in hibernation over there coding up a storm, because there's a crap load of stuff that has to be done to make all this stuff work. All right, so I would tend to think that there's going to be, you know, the abilities to do a refund, like I said. I would tend to, what else could we do? I haven't put much other thought. Those were the two things that came off the top of my head. If you come up with anything, let me know. But I would say at a minimum, those things. I know there's something else. I just can't come up with it off the top of my head. But there'll be other stuff also. And you know, while they're, and this is probably why, you know, I know they're working on ledger integration. They've got to do the instant payment changes. They've got to do the AnyTask interaction. This is the reason why they're not releasing this stuff. It's like, well, how come you can't you send us the ledger integration? Well, why can't you just do the website? Well, you know, why can't you just release, you know, instant payment to update this? Because here's the problem. All of these things interact with all of the code. It interacts with the SQL servers, which are the database. It interacts with the website. It's going to interact with the ledger. It's going to interact with the AnyTask system. It's going to interact with the main core ETN system and additional code there. The web app, the phone app. All right? You don't want to roll this out for one, and then next month have to roll it out across all these systems again, and then roll it out across all these. You know, it could take weeks to roll this stuff all out properly and do all this testing. You put it all onto your development system and you beat the piss out of it and you get it to work and you get all these things running and functioning, and then you roll it out as a package upgrade. Boom, next level, version 2. And you bang the whole thing out as one big clip, and all this shiny stuff comes up at the same time. And boom, you got this, and this with the one install, because it's a big pain in my rear end to try to get all this done. And the last thing you want to do is do it 3 times, and there's going to probably have to be a blockchain upgrade also to make it all happen. So unless they got the hooks already put in when they did the last one. So, you know, this is the reason why it's all being held up. It's because it's going to have to all go out at the same time. Alright? Otherwise, there's no way you would be waiting and waiting, because you'd have to do one at a time. That's my personal thought on the matter. Hey, Paulie. Paulie says, Merry Christmas to you, Dino, and Happy New Year. Right back at you, Paulie. We appreciate that. I thank you. Merry Christmas to you. World Citizen, hello there. Yes. And then we got to Enrico with the fedora. We went through that already. Let's see here. Paulie saying, Oliver Acuna just posted a photo on Twitter with Els and Engine team members. What do you think is going on there? At the end of the post, Oliver mentioned soon to meet with Maddie Greenspan. I don't know. No, he included Maddie Greenspan because I spoke to Maddie Greenspan. I'm going to tell you guys, I have access to talk to over 200 YouTubers. We all interact with each other. We have the ability to communicate with each other. And on various Telegram groups. And I sent that to Maddie Greenspan. Maddie goes, I don't know why my name's not, why my name is in this. I'm not in the picture. And I said, well, obviously they're trying to get your attention, Maddie. And he left it at that. But he wanted to make sure it was clear he's not in the picture, nor did he know anything about it. So, like I said, I personally chatted with him in regards to that specific picture. And he was unaware or did not know why his name was attached. And again, it was to get his attention so that he would see what's going on. It's important to let these guys know. I bombard them. I have to tell you, I catch the ear of many YouTubers about Electroneum, and I try to tell them about how good it is and what's going on with it. I let them know. Everybody from Richard Hart to Tone Days to Crypto Crow to BitBoy, everyone. I tell them about it so that they know, and because I truly believe it's worth their attention. I know it's worth their attention, and most of them are not paying attention to it because it's just not on their radar, and because it's not flying like Matic where they're pumping it and being sold by and amplified by Binance and selling you something that doesn't do anything and is 70%, 80% owned by private investors to get poor saps to buy into the damn thing. It's craziness. All right. This is, a coin like Electroneum has a true value. It has a true functionality. And, I like to let the guys know. They can decide what they want to do. They're big people. They know what they're doing. They have their own shows. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Enrique says, yes, I've always known them as a fedora. Yeah, so have I. And I'll be honest with you, I've always called it a fedora until one of my guys in the print shop, I said, yeah, you like my fedora? And he goes, no, it's a tribly. I go, what the heck are you talking about? It's not a tribble. Tribble's a little round thing with big teeth in it, and it rolls around. That's a tribble from Star Trek. Ah, he goes, a tribly. I said, okay, if you say so. So I looked it up and I was like, yeah, some bitch is right. Let's see here. Okay. Enrique says he looks like him and he wants to get one of those. Enrique says he looks just like, who is that? The guy in Chicago. The mobster in Chicago. There, Al Capone, yeah. He goes, if I had the hat, I would look like Al Capone, Enrique says. So, Dave Dolge, he goes, should I swap my 100 Litecoin for Electroneum? Dave, I absolutely will never tell you what to do. It's not my business to tell you or give you any financial advice of what you should do. What I will recommend to you is to research more into Electroneum, see what they're doing, so that you can honestly feel, do I own Litecoin? I personally don't. I look at Litecoin and I say, what is this function? Where is it used? Who's building it? And what you find out, it's just Charlie Lee in his spare time tinkering with it. What was its function? Well, it was kind of just something for him to do, and he made it, and then they basically test out the Bitcoin upgrades on the Litecoin first, make sure it works before they put it on Bitcoin and mess up everybody's money. They've tried to set it up with the Lightning. They're trying to set it up so you can integrate it, but there's nobody there to code it, and there hasn't been anybody that really has come up from the public, because it's a community coin. Anybody can write stuff for it. How I personally see it, will Litecoin make you money? Yeah, it could. Will I put money into Litecoin? I'd rather just own the Bitcoin. I'd rather just buy the Bitcoin. If you're a trader and you know what you're doing and you know when to buy it and when to sell it, you can make some money on Litecoin. That's great. I don't do that because I buy and I sit on it. I put it away. I ain't time for trading and anything. And why would I buy Litecoin, which is a simulation of Bitcoin? I'd just go buy the Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't mean that your purchase isn't a good one. You may have particular fundamentals and things that you like about it. It's important to you. It tickles your fancy. So therefore, it's worth it for you to own them. You know, people collect these pogs, and I collect little non-baseball cards. It's just a piece of cardboard with a print on it. You know, supposedly it's worth $50. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I could ever get $50 for it, but you know what? I like it. And I'm glad I paid $20 for it. And I could care less. So what's good for you is what's good for you. That's if you want to own Litecoin. But I tell you to buy Electroneum? I'm not telling you to buy Electroneum. No, absolutely not. I'm telling you to research Electroneum. I want you to look into it. I want you to see what they've created. Watch some of the videos. I have a lot of videos that explain. There's a lot of other people that have done things. Watch the videos, the interviews of Richard L. So you hear it directly from him, not some goofball like me and a crazy guy in a goofy hat mumbling at the screen. I happen to know a lot about Electroneum, a real lot. I've been with it for a long time, and I'm deeply involved as far as how it works in the mechanics. I like to think that I'm significantly abreast of the information of what's going on. But you want to hear it directly out of Richard L's mouth. You want to hear it directly out of Mr. Acuna, Oliver Acuna, who's the PR manager. You want to read their information. You want to watch Richard L's videos. You want to listen to the things that he says and what he's planning and what he is bringing and what has been brought to the table. You want to see, does this particular project, now remember, you're not buying an electronic coin. This is a company. This is not a project. This is not an open source project like normal. This is not a community coin. This is Electroneum Limited, a corporation, international corporation based out of London. They're planning to make money with this. They're not doing this for fun. Okay? You want to see what they've built. You want to see how they've protected the environment. How it's impossible to produce a 51% attack against the blockchain because it's secured. Now, to do that, some of it's centralized. It's a hybrid model. The only way to do this is to centralize parts of it. But now it's 51% attack proof. You want to see how the people that are mining it are going to non-governmental organizations. People around organizations around the world that can help others. They can mine the Electroneum, keep it working, and see how they can earn that Electroneum and choose to hold on to it, choose to pay it out. Hey, make this water delivery and then we'll give you 1,000 Electroneum because it'll have value to that person. Or they can cash in at an exchange and take the money and and go buy the bottled water with it. But they're able to help NGOs so there's a value there that's being brought at the same time. You'll see how you got the protection, you got the NGOs mining it. You'll see how that they have the instant payment capabilities where you have the app, and inside the app you have the ability to mobile mine. It's cloud mining. Basically, it's an airdrop. You got to check in once a week and continue the button, and it's simulating mining. But you earn X amount of Electroneum, and it's given to a small amount's given to them, $3 a month in the targeted areas, so that they have a sample to learn how to use it and start to share it with their friends and buy things. And stores are starting to accept it. In Uganda, we talk to Electroneum Mart all the time, and he gets more and more stores, and so people can get a haircut and do things, and they're using it because they use cell phone minutes. So, I'll give you 10 minutes, for that item there or whatever. So now they can use the Electroneum, and they can offer it to others and do things. You have the ability to instantly payment. They're talking about Lightning Network, and hopefully we'll get that working. Electroneum does that right now. You can take it, scan it, bring up your phone. I happen to have an Electroneum phone, which they make for these targeted areas. It's not a phone that you would use in the United States. It's a $59 phone, a $79 phone, but in the targeted areas it works out really well. It has the official Electroneum stuff on it, or they just put the app on their existing phone. But it's an Electroneum phone. Product. So they can instantly scan, beep, and pay it, and instantly the money's transferred. It's not a wish, not a dream, not maybe. It's not like it might work, or we only have 1,000 people. No, everybody that has the app, all 3.4 million people, registered people that have it installed, can instantly pay each other. And if you're a store, you can set up yourself as a vendor. You can go onto the Electroneum website, set yourself up as a vendor, put in all your key information, and it'll send a vendor receipt. Hey, you just paid Digit Spin Crypto 100 ETN, and then I'll get a receipt. It exists today. Now they're upgrading it and making it better, adding more features like subscription. That's like the biggest thing. You listen to all the other YouTubers. What do they say about Bitcoin? Oh, there's no way to do subscriptions until we figured that out. It's never going to be adopted. It's already built. It's just got to be released. The instant payments in place. They're going to release the subscription model and the ability to do a refund. That's going to happen. It's already done. It's just a matter of coming out in the next release. If you go through and you look at these wish lists of things that people wish that certain other coins did, Electroneum does it right now. And very few people know about it. You want to educate. The list goes on and on. It's echo. What do they say? Bitcoin's wasting all this electricity. The entire Electroneum blockchain network runs off of the electricity that would power one house. One 150 amp service can run the entire network. And that's it. Because it only has to go to these NGOs. The NGOs, you only need 50, 100 workstations, nodes, validating. Because you don't need all of that hashing power to protect the environment. The environment is 51% protected, hack-proof already. Saves electricity. It's eco-friendly. It gives to the folks that need it, the NGOs that can do well for others. AnyTask AnyTask.com website's coming out. They're in beta testing right now. It's been built. They're, I'm sure, ironing out the kinks, the bugs, getting more people. They had the first beta test run. They're gonna, in January, they're gonna run a second beta test run. This will give people, what's the biggest problem? Guys in Chile, or and he wants to earn. Hey, I can do this. I can take photographs. This guy's paying $5 American US dollars for a photograph. I have a good phone. I can take a picture of a cave entrance, or of a wild animal, or whatever it is, a toucan in the jungle. I can get pictures for him, and I can earn $5. But the problem is, you could go to those Fiverr sites and everything. They say, input your bank account here so we can send you the money. And he goes, I don't have a bank account. You think it costs too much? I only make $80 a month. And the bank wants $10 a month to maintain it. Why would I give $10 to the bank? I can't afford that. They have no way to get paid. Electroneum solves that. They go to the AnyTask website, and the guy in Chile puts up there, I can take pictures of toucans. $5. Now I look at that and I say, hey, I could use that. I can turn that into a poster, or I can make it into a cardboard cutout. And I want to pay that guy $5. I can go on there, I can place my order, I pay for it with a credit card. They add tax and $3 for the credit card fee, whatever it is. I pay $8, $7.95. Still a bargain for me. The guy goes out, takes his pictures. He says, hey, I got your pictures. He closes the deal. He sends them to me. I take a look at it. I say, that's perfect. It's the right size. It's the right megapixel. I approve it. The guy shakes my hand electronically and says, that's great. He gets paid in Electroneum. Well, he's got his phone. He's got the Electroneum app already installed. And Electroneum is instantly sent over to his account on his phone. And now he has some value. He doesn't need the bank. He doesn't have to pay that $10 every month. The money sitting there, the value, I don't want to say money, I want to say the value is sitting there right on the phone. He now has value. And now all these people have Electroneum, and they start going around and they start saying, hey, I want to get a haircut. Can I pay you in Electroneum? And the vendor goes, what's that? And he sets him up, gives him his referral code, so that when the vendor starts to mine, he makes a little extra. And now that vendor says, sure, I'll take that. And they accept it. And he instantly pays them. Bloop, bloop. No waiting, no fuss, no muss. It comes over in a second. In a second. Now, let's say there's no vendors. Electroneum is setting up top-ups. Those countries that they're targeting, they have it set up so that they can pay their phone bill. Unlike the United States, where we usually buy contracts, in these countries, they pay per minute. They buy a block of 20 meg of data, maybe 60 minutes of talk time. Cost them $3.99 US, or how whatever that they're using there, seashells or whatever they use for money there. They can top off and buy for 100 ETN, 300 ETN. I could buy 20 gigabytes of data, and they top it off and they use their ETN. So they have a place to spend it. And there's altcointopups.com that lets you spend it in any country. You can top off a phone in the world. Just about any country in the world. Now, the one that Electroneum does, that's built into the phone, it's easier because it's built right into the app. You don't have to go to a website. And it's a little cheaper. when you go through the altcoin top-ups, obviously there's a middleman in there. But you can do it. So now you have a way to earn. You have a way to spend. You have a way to receive value. You have all this right in your phone now. This isn't maybe, right now. This can be done. The blockchain is decentralized with permission nodes. Electroneum has to approve the NGO. Just make sure that nobody just opens up an NGO and says, I'm an NGO, and starts collecting Electroneum. They have to approve the NGO. So the mining rewards goes to those that need it. It's energy friendly. Doesn't take up a whole lot of energy to run it. If you go down that list of you go through all these YouTubers and they start laying out lists of stuff that they wish Bitcoin did, Electroneum does it. What I recommend, Dave, is that you go and listen to the videos. You listen to the words coming out of Richard Ells' mouth. I find him to be a stand-up guy. You'll make your own decision whether you think he is. Listen to what he has to say. Look at what's available. And I'm not telling you selling your Litecoin is the right answer. That may be valuable to you. I'm not telling you anything. What I'm telling you is that look into Electroneum, see what they're doing, and then you can use it to compare against what you would plan to invest. Because once you see what Electroneum does, then you look at another coin and you go, okay, how is this coin being used? Well, it's not. How are they transmitting the funds back and forth? Just through exchanges or just through a wallet on the screen? That ain't going anywhere. You start comparing these other coins to what Electroneum does right now, right this second, right this minute, today. You're going to go, why am I putting money into this? Because I see what Electroneum is worth and they have all of this functionality. How can this coin be worth more when it doesn't do a tenth of what Electroneum's doing today? And then you may think about it and you may say, you know what? When I go forward, I'm gonna keep my Litecoin, but maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of Electroneum to my collection, and let's see how this turns out also. And you pay attention about it, and you see if there's value there for you. I never tell people what you should buy and what you should sell because it's different for everybody, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm just a goofy guy in a square hat, so don't pretend that I am. But what I will tell you is, pay attention to what these coins do. See what they've produced. See what happens and what's going on right this moment. See what's being released. Listen to the CEOs of the company. Are they acting like children fighting with other coins? Or are they acting like a professional global business, like Richard Ells is? Like Chris Gorman is, like Oliver Acuna is. These are guys, top in their industries. These are knights of the British Empire. Order of the British Empire. The doctorates, and these are quality individuals. Followed up with Richard. So I have a lot of trust in the professionalism of the executive team of this corporation. And basically, I personally have bought some Electroneum, which is the fuel for the Electroneum system, because eventually this payment system is going to be like a PayPal. You know, you can use cash, credit card, PayPal, or Electroneum, and you'll be able to use the quick app and on a soda machine and, bloop, and wherever you go, and you'll be able to add this functionality. And it's going to start off in the areas that need it most. Probably not so much in the Western world, though we'll have to see. You know, Richard came out and he was talking about that he has such a big partnership that he's been working on that he would wish that he could say exactly what it is, but he can't. They've been working on it for over a year. But one of the other, if you listen to all his videos, he was talking about it being with a national bank, which means that it would be an approved currency for a country. Now, I'm sure this is going to take some more time. It could take to the end of the next year or the mid-year or what have you. I don't think this is going to happen first quarter. But 2020, I think is their next time frame that they said, that between Oliver and Richard, they've led me to believe that they're hoping to get this done in 2020. And it's going to be significant. You know, if you're the first if it is what I think it is, and it's, you know, you're one of the first cryptocurrencies to be officially recognized by a national state bank as an official currency, that's pretty big. Because that's never happened with anybody. And depending on the country, it could have a direct impact of whether it's accepted elsewhere. And you know why it's being accepted? Because Electroneum was the first one to create a hybrid environment where they have everybody KYC and AML compliant already. If you start mining, you go to your app store or your Apple store, and you can download the Electroneum app, and you can start mining and earn. You don't even have to buy Electroneum. You can just start mobile mining it. But if you want to be able to move your coins, you know, more than 50 of them or something like that, yeah, you've got to get, you know, European standard. Europeans has their standard for AML and KYC. You have to provide, you know, proof of who you are, just like you would if you had a bank account. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not what cryptocurrency is all about. But the fact of the matter is that there's no company or bank on planet Earth that's going to interact with you if you're not AML or KYC compliant. And all these coins, they go whine and bitch and complain that they can't get mass adoption, or that none of these companies want to interact with them. It's because they ain't going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. They don't know where the money's coming from. They're not going to take the liability and the responsibility of being accidentally laundering funds. Electroneum already they've had this in place for 9 months, a year now. Everybody that's on there is already KYC compliant. They can integrate right into a bank because it's already compliant. They've got the background information. They know the customer. They can assure the bank, whoever's going to be accepting this Electroneum, that this is Dino Digitspin. He's provided documentation to show that he has a job or where his income comes from. And these are valid and truthful transactions. Because no government is going to let this happen. They're not going to let money go in and out of their countries without knowing where it's coming from. And all these crypto people can whine, complain, and bitch and moan about KYC AML. And they can leave their coins in a little pile and trade them like marbles with their best friends. But if they want everybody on the planet to start using their cryptocurrency, they're going to have to be AML and KYC compliant, whether they like it or not. And you know this to be true. Electroneum was the first to get it done, and it's already in place, working, and it's being done right now. And if you like to mine coins, or you want to buy them on an exchange and send them to a CLI wallet, you can do that. You don't have to have those KYC'd. You can move them back and forth to exchange. If you want to be the techno wizard, you can keep it outside of the KYC, AML. But if you're going to move them to your mobile miner wallet, so you can take advantage of instant payments, receipts, transactions, and all that other good stuff, if you want to use the special features, you got to be inside the KYC ring, inside the fence, and you're going to have to get it done. And whether they like it or not, you're doing it on exchanges anyway. You're going to give the exchange your driver's license and information, then what's the big deal giving it to Electroneum? It's the same thing. They'll make up a bunch of baloney for nothing. And you know what? They're going to be sitting there whining and complaining that they don't want to do KYC, and they're going to be trading their marbles with their best buddies, and that's it. Because nobody else is going to touch it, no government's going to let it happen. Again, Electroneum, way ahead of where everybody else is. Everybody else is still whining and complaining about it. They've already accomplished it, set it in place, and it's working. Because they know better. They know if you want to interact, if you truly want the 99% of the rest of the world to use it, it's got to plug into the existing systems. And they made that happen. Go research it for yourself, Dave. And there's a lot of information in there. You asked me a really hot topic question, and I wanted to be truthful and full, and give you some initiative to look into it. So now you can go decide whether or not you think you should buy some Electroneum. Look into it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. I can only tell you what the known facts that are present. You need to evaluate it if that has value to you. All right. Ashokin, whatever happened to Cryptopia Exchange? Yeah, they went out of business. Cryptopia took all the coins with them. The database was being held in a data center in Arizona. They owed money to the data center, so they could not get the information to know who and how many coins each person had. The lawyers just flew out here just last week and paid the ransom. I mean the fee that the data center wanted to get that information, and they secured the database of the customers and the coins. From what I can tell, there's a significant amount of debt owed, and once the debt's paid and the lawyers get their paws on it, there'll probably be very little to nothing left, because as you know, they were hacked and most of the coins were stolen to begin with, and what was ever left over, the scraps that are left over, you know, the pit bulls are going to be sitting there tearing each other apart for. And if you've lost funds in Cryptopia, I'm sorry for you. Don't keep your coins on exchanges. You put them on, you make your trade. You can keep a small amount there if it's $50 or something like that. If you have, a few $100, $300, $400, $500 with the coin, get them the heck off the exchange. They don't belong there, because all of those are the most vulnerable place. Make sure you know how to store it, and soon Electroneum will release the Ledger integration, so you'll be able to store them on your Ledger wallet. They've been working on that as another awesome feature for Electroneum. All right, let's see. Enrique says, "Hey, Hey, Dino, what's in the cup? The Serrano or coffee? No, actually, it was just coffee with a lot of half and half. I like a lot of half and half in my coffee and tea, and a little bit of sugar. But I've polished it off. That was really good. I really like to get another one, but I'd have to go inside to do it. I wasn't gonna leave you guys here stranded, so I'll deal with it later. All right, let's see what else we got here. Crypto Dog, there's my buddy. Merry Christmas, Dino. Drink a fifth of Captain Morgan. Wake up on 2020 price 1 cent. Like Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah, no, I really do enjoy that, what is that, Captain Morgan's the spiced rum. Something about that. I had that last Christmas that I enjoyed. That spiced rum with some Coca-Cola. You know, it has a nice flavor compared to just regular rum. Rum just kind of... The spiced rum, you know, you feel like you got something special, you know? It's just good. I like the spiced rum. World citizen. Yep, exactly. Quiet does not mean stagnant. Exactly. ETN doing good. We got Joey Vlogs. Hey, Joey Vlogs. Joey Vlogs, he's telling me ETN TV's checking in. Good to see you there, Joey Vlogs. Okay, so row C, which is better than row D because row C is closer. What was the patent for again? The mobile wallet? Why do you think no news about the mobile wallet? Why do you think there's no news about the mobile wallet interoperability? The patent has nothing to do with the functionality of the wallet. They're going to build the wallet and it's doing exactly what they want it to do. And patent or no patent, they're going to continue to build it and it'll function as required. What Electroneum wanted to do when they first built the environment, they created this patent. They wanted to be able to patent the functionality of the mobile wallet with the instant payment, because remember what I was telling you, you can be outside of the KYC or inside the KYC. If you're inside the KYC, it's 50-50 decentralized and it's all compliant, but once you're inside that ring, your coins are in there. You have to participate in those rules, and part of it is in a centralized system. And when you paid for something, it would hold that money or those coins to ensure that they get paid to the vendor and give you the instant approval number, just like a credit card. You swipe your card, and the Visa goes out, checks. Hey, Dino's got $100 in there. He wants to spend 10. Yep, he's approved. Send the vendor an approval code, and let's steal that money from Dino, that $10, and we'll send it over to the vendor. All right, and that's basically what they're doing. That's the reason why Electroneum is going to be a brand name like Band-Aid. You're going to pay for it with PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, or Electroneum. All right, because it works basically the same way. They're going to be a payment processing system for cryptocurrency. Now, they wanted to patent that environment. Additionally, the system is capable of not only supporting Electroneum, but they could add other cryptocurrency if they wanted to into this wallet system. So you could put Bitcoin in here and you can instant payment Bitcoin to a vendor of any size, as long as you have it in your Electroneum wallet, because it would be put in reserve there. And they wanted to instant pay. They wanted to do that, and part of the patent was also to patent subscriptions, because nobody's done it yet. Nobody has subscriptions set up. They wanted to patent that. Now they're already building it. The problem is that the environment has changed. I don't think the patent office is as familiar with this particular technology, and so from what is publicly known is that the patent office says don't think that you can patent this. And so Electroneum either has to decide to rewrite the patent to satisfy the patent lawyers, or not worry about it. But it has nothing to do with what they're going to build. They're going to build it anyway. It's nice to have a patent so that you own that intellectual property, and it gives value to the Electroneum company that they own a worldwide process that can't be duplicated. And so it makes the Electroneum Limited company worth more if they have a patent for it. It's like a bonus multiplier when you're playing pinball. Okay, same idea. So it doesn't affect us as coin purchasers in any fashion, shape, or form. But it would be a nice feather in the cap for Electroneum Limited on a corporate level. All right, let's see what other good questions you guys got here. So Chad Scott, he goes, "Hey, I got a fun question for you. If you had no prior investment in any cryptocurrencies and were forced to make a decision between Bitcoin and ETM, which would you choose? Which one would you choose?" Okay, so doesn't matter if I have had no prior investment or I have a prior investment. I put a minimum of 50 to 70% into Bitcoin. As of today, you'd be a fool not to own Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you that right to your face. If you own, sapling coin or tic-tac coin, you're wasting your money. Keep your Bitcoin. You want a minimum of 50%. In my personal opinion, this is not financial advice. I personally keep a minimum of 50%. That's what I would offer as a suggestion for you to go look into. From there, you can then decide what your second coins are. What I can't tell you what to go buy. What I can tell you is that if I have an extra $20, I put it $10 into Bitcoin. I'll probably put $5 into Ethereum, and I put $5 into Electroneum, and that's my $20. And I don't buy anything else. Those are the only things I'm buying: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Electroneum. And not to say the other projects aren't good. There's a lot of great projects out there. Absolutely. There's that first page, 100 coins. You don't get to the first page out of 4,697 coins out there. You don't get to the top 100 unless you have something to offer. Something, whether it just be a lot of hype or actually a product. Okay? A lot of those coins in that top page are gonna, when the time is right, are gonna make a benefit to you. When the time is right, including Electroneum, there will be a benefit at some point. Okay. I personally am never gonna be investing any of my coins, any of my $20 into any coin that can't show me that they're delivering, producing, and actually have a use case and functionality. Because there's no way that, Electroneum selling for half a penny, and you got a coin that's selling for 80 cents or $1 that's still a token. It doesn't even have a blockchain. How on earth can it be selling for $1 when it doesn't even have, and I'm saying all things equal, they both have 21 billion coins. There's no way that it could sell for that. It's clearly not worth that money. And if you buy at the top, You're going to sell at the bottom. You're going to take a beating. They're going to take your money. Because that coin's going to take a nosedive. All these, if you take a look, go to CoinMarketCap, and you look at all the coins. All these, I don't even buy IEOs. I'm not interested in that unless you're a VC and you're getting chummy with the guys producing the damn thing. You're gonna take it in the shorts, okay? Real simple. Let's see here. CoinMarketCap. All right, take a look at some of these things. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash here. All right, all. Get my face out of the way. It starts off good. It starts off, gets a little bit of a swing, and takes a nosedive and goes on for 4 years. I don't care what coin it is, XRP, Bitcoin, Cash, all of these, Stellar, Cardano. Let's look at Cardano. Again, comes out, all the hype, all the guys who bought in at the beginning sell immediately at the hype. It always works its way down, and for the next 4 years, it's peanuts. I don't buy these things off at the, because you end up buying it here, because this is when the release date's available to you. This is when the guys are buying them, behind the scenes. All right, these are the guys that got $5-10 million. They get 1 billion coins, and then they drop the bag on everybody else who heard about it, all excited, look at the price, and they drop the bags on them, and then the shit just goes down and it goes all the way across. All right, and obviously a lot of this was probably December. Let's take a look. January of 18. All right, so you're gonna have obviously your cycles, but everybody's taking it in the shorts. And right now, these a lot of these coins that are coming out, whether they're IEOs, you don't see too many SEOs anymore. But anyway, I just stay away from those things. I'm just not interested. I don't have time for that stuff. So anyway, between Bitcoin and ETN, the answer to your question is should I, if I had some funding between Bitcoin, if you handed me $100, how would I spend it? 50% on Bitcoin, 25% on Ethereum, 25% Electroneum. That's what I would do with the $100 if you handed it to me. Let's see here. XXYY. Let's see. Every maximalist who complains about an unregulated coin and think they should disregard all financial laws or regulations are effing more. You're an effing moron. Absolutely. You're not going to be able to plug it in to the world economy. You're not going to be able to plug it into the world economy to be able to have it surpass existing financial systems. They make the rules. They are the system right now. They make the rules, and if you want to get in, you got to play by their rules. But then once cryptocurrencies take over or become more popular, they will have the ability to throw a little weight around. But the fact of the matter is that you're always going to have KYC and AML because people launder money. There's funds that are being transmitted around the world by devious sources, and the governments are trying to protect the people of their countries to make sure that there's not drug money coming in and out, making it easier for them. Make sure that there's not weapons money going in and out. Make sure that there's not terrorist money going in and out. And that's a fact of life. And it'll always be that way as long as they're governments. The only way that's going to go away is if there's civilization collapse. And then all that stuff won't matter because we'll all be beating the piss out of each other. fighting over corn cobs. All right. So Climate Tech says, hey, the government can't stop Bitcoin, and it's not KYC and AML. That is 100% correct. And it can't stop it whatsoever. Now, what they can stop is getting it in and out of the fiat system. If you're going to move money around, you can do it all over the place, all right? But if the guy who's receiving the money wants to turn it into fiat and he wants American dollars, he's got to go through some kind of a bank. He has to hand the Bitcoin to somebody, and they're going to have to hand them cash. And that off and on ramp is all regulated and controlled by the governments, which require KYC and AML. That's why your exchanges, you can't go to Coinbase and cash out your Bitcoin. You can't get fiat sent to your bank so you can go pay your mortgage. Now, hopefully one day the mortgage companies will take the Bitcoin. We got a different story there. But today, in the next 10 years, yeah, you can move it around. You can send it to somebody. But how are they going to spend it? How are they going to use it? You going to tell me you're going to take it to Starbucks? Somebody sends them $500 million in drug money. What are they going to buy cups of coffee at Starbucks for 99 cents? How are they going to get the money out? How are they going to use it? And the answer is, I got to turn off my... I'm going to leave my music on. I'm going to assume that it's continuing. My battery and my earplug. We're having a marathon. We're having a marathon show. The fact of the matter is, right now, and for probably the next 10 years at least, you can't do anything with it. It's like having monopoly money. If you can't cash it out and pay anything with it, doesn't matter what you got, where you can send it. And that's where the government controls it. All right. Let's see here. XXYY says, and I wonder why they won't recognize it as a legitimate currency backed up by governments. Right. And the governments are not going to recognize it as a legitimate currency because they've got to have safeguards on it. And you know as well as I do, money's power, and the government needs power. They need control over it. That's the socialists. China doesn't want it to take over. If they lose control of who has what money, that's the power. That's how they keep control over the people. And if the people control it themselves, they lose that ability to use that as a leverage. So they're going to want this KYC AML. They're going to want to know who you are. They're going to want to know where the money came from, so that governments don't inject money into a country, start paying off people to subvert the government and cause a government failure. Come on, guys, read The Fall of Rome. Not that they were using cryptocurrency, but read it. If government fails to work and function properly, and one of our clearly our legislative branch is mentally deficient, and it hasn't been working in years, in 10 years, 20 years, maybe longer, but it's been really bad the last 20 years. Luckily, we have the other branches to help hold it together, but it's got to all work. All right, honey. So the Climate Tech says, yeah, the honey badger don't care about no government AML and KYC, and that's fine. That's fine. and ultimately that would be the best way, where you can send it and get it out there and move it around. But as certain Bitcoins are not created equal anymore. Some are not being accepted. They've been tainted. They were used in nefarious transactions, and they're being monitored and tracked, and where they're going. It's already trackable. You would need Monero to keep it all private. And that's the nice thing about Electroneum. It does have some privacy, as far as they can't see into your wallet. They can't see how much money you have in your wallet and things like that. They kept some of the privacy of Monero because it was based off of Monero. You may not care, but that doesn't mean that the world isn't moving around yet. And ideally it would be, if everybody got along with each other, and we weren't all trying to kill each other, it would be the perfect solution. But if you have Bitcoin, you have it to the side, and everybody that you live around accepts Bitcoin, and you can transfer it back and forth, and and trade it for food, good for you. Good for you. I'm glad that works out for you. I would starve to death, and I'd lose my mortgage. My cars would be repossessed. I wouldn't be able to eat anything because nobody freaking accepts Bitcoin. So I'd lose my shirt right now. So I can't survive just selling and giving Bitcoin back and forth. Same with Electroneum. Not yet. We're hoping Bitcoin, hoping Electroneum. We got a little more time to go. Stephen B says, Bitcoin could be completely overvalued right now. And that's possible. It is possible. All we can go with is historically the lows. You don't want to look at the highs. You want to look at the lows. You want to see what the value of the lows were. And you want to see if there's a divisible number that's showing up, or a mathematical formula for the arc that try to get a historical trend, which obviously doesn't matter. It doesn't define, future performance, but it gives you an idea of where we've been, and an arrow that says you're going to go somewhere this way, So I think that there's been enough charting that seems reasonable. Your stock to flow versus value charting, your energy consumption to the value to the sales price of the Bitcoin, your hash rate to sales price of the Bitcoin. And if you start looking at all these charts, they start to show a picture that has been historically accurate so far. That it should show and continue to be around this. Yeah, it's gonna break out. It's gonna, not be exact. You're gonna have some pinpricks through the Bollinger Band. But for the most part, it's giving you a general direction that has been accurate so far and mathematically correct. And you can look at all of them, and I think that I think Bitcoin's worth at least the 5,500 right now. But it was great to get it at that 3,500 range. But I think we're getting past that. It's really not going to start to. You're looking at May before we're going to start to see any equivalence values, and we'll know where we're going. And by this time next year, if we're not at all-time high or around, give or take, and we're we're still at $5,000 to $7,000, then all of the historical data that has been pointing us in a particular fashion is changing. It can't be used to predict the future. And a couple of things that are going to be a problem is that we have a lot more of this cash settled future crap, where people that have no business doing leverage trading are just losing their money. They're just giving it away to these exchanges, thinking that they're going to strike it rich. Just go buy a lottery ticket. They think they're going to strike it. If you're not a pro or a guy with tons of money in your pockets, you shouldn't be messing around with that stuff. You're going to lose your shirt. And instead of that money going into the underlying asset, the Bitcoin itself, if people are spending all this money in these exchanges, Bybit, you don't see me recommending Bybit. I'm not going to do that. That's asinine. For people that watch my show, they're starting off. If you're a pro, you know what to do, and you wouldn't need somebody to tell you to go to Bybit to freaking leverage trade. All right? So there's no way that I would even tell people to look into this stuff if you're new. Don't touch it if you don't know. You're going to lose your money. And that money could have went into the underlying asset, the Bitcoin itself, which would have taken it off the market and helped raise the price. The fact that people are gambling the money that they would have put into the Bitcoin, which would be bringing the price up and sucking up all of the loose change, all the loose coins that are out there in HODL positions, is being gambled and going into fat cat hands, paying. These exchanges are making billions of dollars. All right? They're not digging up gold out of the earth. They're not manufacturing plastic cups and selling trillions of them. They produce no physical product. They dig up no physical product. They make their money by you losing yours. You're just giving it right to them. Making them wealthy, making them billions of dollars. When you could have just bought 0.2 of a Bitcoin and sit on it for the 8 years. The guys who started mining Bitcoins, they were worthless. And what am I going to do with these things? I don't know. Let's hold on to them for 8 years. 8 years, and now they made lots of money on it. They became the Lambo guys. It took them 8 years. You're not going to strike it rich overnight. You have better odds in between the happening to ride the wave. Come on. Be realistic with what know what you're buying. Rob Pistori says VeChain is awesome also. Yeah, I'm sure VeChain's going to make some good money. They have some great partnerships. We'll have to see how they turn out. I think VeChain has a lot of potential. I think that there's going to be a lot of money that can be made with VeChain. I think that they'll probably be around for quite a while. I see them doing something with the coin. So, I would put them on a list of coins to look into. I'm not going to personally purchase VeChain. I'm buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Electroneum. That's my big plan. And there will be plenty of opportunity for those that get into VeChain. It's just like any any of those other good coins. I think that there's some good stuff there. I just see value in other, where I would like to put my my $20 is into those coins. That's my personal decision. And like I said, everyone may have a value to you, and if it's valuable to you, then you go with that coin. Just look into it. Make sure that it does stuff. Make sure that there's some function. Because otherwise, you're buying a puffed air. You're buying a Cheeto. If all it is puffed air, if it doesn't do anything, you're buying a Cheeto and it just disappears. You put it in your mouth and the thing disappears into little powder cheese. Like, where the heck did the Cheeto go? That's what you're buying if the coin doesn't have anything behind it. And then you wonder where your money went. Chaz goes, "Hey Dino, you broke the rules of the game. You had to choose one coin. Oh well. By the way, I wasn't asking for any investment advice. Just a fun game." Yeah. Well, luckily, there are many coins in cryptocurrency, so I don't have to pick just one coin. All right. Yeah, Steven's saying that Electroneum right now is near its all-time low. And yeah, I think all the coins are on their all-time low. They're just Electroneum. What the heck are you talking about? All the crypto is on its all-time low if it's an altcoin. Simple as that. So if you're gonna pick up a couple coins, you, no matter what you go with, you probably do all right. Let's see here. Katie Girl says, "I have had a nap and wake up, and this live thing's still going on. Yeah, we're having a marathon. we're just going. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep kicking. I'm like Rocky. I'm going further. I'm running. I'm trading. Rob says, "You say, oh no, I'm not. I'm never upset. Sometimes I present the information to you in a dramatic way, so that you get the feeling of what I'm trying to express, of the importance of that particular sentence." What about XRP? XRP has been around forever. You look it up, that damn coin's been around for a long time. Shocking to me how long XRP's been around. You would think it'd be worth more by now. Again, it's a number 3 coin. I mean, come on. It's a number 3 coin. So for anybody to say that it's worthless, they're an idiot. Okay, I think I own like 5,000 XRPs. I think I had collected them or something. I have them off to the side. What it comes down to, do I think these other coins are great? Yeah, you can't go wrong with the top 25 coins. There's probably something going on there. Take a look at them. Some are better than others. What happens is that I don't have, like the government, I don't have an unlimited amount of money, or I can just print more. Okay, so I have a finite amount of dollars. I get my paycheck, I pay the mortgage, I pay the car, I put some chicken on the table, I get a new pair of socks, and then when I got $20 left over, so I take my $20 and I say, all right, what do I want to put this into for my future? All right, well, clearly you got to be a moron not to own Bitcoin. It's the granddaddy, the standard. Everything's based off of it. Every coin is paired to Bitcoin. If you don't own Bitcoin, you don't belong buying cryptocurrency. You gotta have some. You gotta have a little Bitcoin. So I'm gonna put some Bitcoin in there. All right, I'm gonna buy my $10 worth of Bitcoin. Now I'm gonna take a look. XRP, it's a viable option. Should I get XRP? I gotta take a look. Is this the right time to buy the price? You know, you're gonna go into the charts. You're gonna take a look. Is it at all-time highs? You know, it's been around forever. It's not gonna go away anywhere. Garlinghouse has got it all together. So let's take a look here. All right, so you look. Here's the all-time. You know, we're looking at since 2013. You know, it's been around. It's an old coin. You can see it was pretty much nothing for years. Remember, 2013, 2017, it was practically worthless. Practically worthless. What do we got here? 7/10 of a penny. You know? 6/10 of a penny, half a penny. It was practically worthless. 4 years. Practically worthless. Alright? Wasn't until mid-2017 it started to get a little bit of steam. You got a lot going up and down with it. So I take a look at it. Well, in my personal opinion, I think it's highly manipulated because they have all the coins. They drop so many a month. They even admitted they were dropping too many, keeping the price down. They're going to release less to hopefully let the price come up. It hasn't helped because all crypto is down. Alright, well, it's a solid coin. It's been at, you know, it's got some nice highs here. You know, it's reached some good things here. It could probably do it again in the next run. Yeah, I can make some money on that. You know, it was at $3 for a week or two. But for the most part, you know, it was trading at $1. I think to expect it to be more than $1, you know, on average thing is going to be, so it's 33 cents, it can go to $1. Is it useful? Yeah, you know, they're moving it around. They're experimenting with it. You know, the pay centers are using it to transfer. A couple banks have it in place. You know, yeah, well, it may be. It's fast. It's not going to be attacked because they control the nodes. So you know, secure. So all right. Well, maybe you know, maybe it'll go to $1. So what am I at, 33 cents or something like that? So I look at it at 21 cents. All right, so it's, you know, 4x. You know, if I'm lucky, you know, in that 1 week craziness, it'll probably go up there again. All right. That's not bad. Well, what are my other options? And this is where I look into other coins. I start looking at some of the projects. Some grab my attention. The Electroneum one was the one that grabbed my attention. I saw what they did, and I said, all right, well, it's half a penny. You know, let's take a look. If we match it against Dash, they working in millions. This is working in billions of coins. There's $1,000 leverage difference. That would put it at 4 cents. So if it could match Dash, it's 4 cents. That's 8x times my money. And they actually have products, so they have the potential to actually make that happen instead of it just being hype. There's potential there. So I could do 4x with XRP, I could do 8x with ETN, and then I make a decision. I personally am going to take the risk on coin B instead of coin A, you know. But you don't get to the number 3 position by being a slouch. All right. Obviously, it's got some value. Problem is that it's already at position 3. Electroneum's at 92. I can write it up. I have potential to, if it hits, the potential to make a significantly amount of benefit, a much bigger benefit. Riding it from 92 up to the top 10. than writing number 3. Where's number 3? Number 3 can only go to number 2 and 1. Electroneum has 92 positions it could go up. So, you know, it's more of a risk, more of a reward. And so, you know, I've already got my 50% in my Bitcoin. I'm going to leave that there. I don't trade it. I don't mess with it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to give it its 8 years. I'm going to go through 2 cycles. And if everything works out, I'll be able to pay off my house. I'll see a benefit. Right? Alright. Enrique says, yeah, he goes, dream of ETN hitting $50 and beyond. Yeah. There's not enough money right now to do that. You know, at $10, no, at $100, you're looking at 5 times all of the crypto combined today. If Electroneum was $100 today, you're looking at 5 times all of the crypto that exists today combined. And yeah, that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. Alright, Chaz, he give me a frowny face and a happy face. Crypto dog goes, $50 ETN or blow up doll goes bust. If you say so. I don't know what you got going on there, Crypto dog. I don't know, he's talking about blow up dolls and and busts. I don't know. He cracked me up. Merry Christmas to you, Chaz. We appreciate you sending Merry Christmas. Or Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate during this festive time of the year. Peace be with you. Alright. Let's see what else we got here. We got a marathon going on. We've been running this I don't know, let's see, what time did I start this thing? 9:30? 10:30, 11:30, whatever. How long have we been talking? I could have swore I started this at 9:30. Oh my god, yeah, we're doing a marathon a marathon live chat. This is gonna be my longest chat ever. We gotta have to do a 24-hour chat. Enrique Loco says, if ETN hits $50, I'll burst. You damn straight you'd burst. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did have a heart attack and you can bury your ledger with you. Oh, yeah, no kidding. You know, if everything went, you know, and this is hypothetical. I like to work with actuals. You know, I'd like to see Electroneum break that 1 penny. All right, I'd like to see Electroneum hit the dime and a quarter. If we're lucky, I'd love to see Electroneum hit $1 one day, 5 years from now. $10. $10, is it possible? It's literally physically possible. It's unlikely. Not in the next 10 years. You know, it's going to take longer than that. But then, you know what? You know, if you would have told the guy spent 10,000 bitcoins for a pizza, if you would have told him they would be worth 10 grand a pop, he would tell you to go kiss yourself. Go fly a kite. There's no way these bitcoins are going to be worth $10,000 each. What are you smoking? H-Bomb. Hey, Dino! It's good to see you. Let's see here. Yeah, XRP hit almost $4 and it has 10 times the coins as ETN. So who knows what ETN could do. Yeah, so if it has 10 times, that would be an equivalent of a $40 Electroneum. Is that true? They have hundreds of billions of coins out there? Let's see here. Total supply 99 billion. So no, they have they'll have 4 times the value. So $4. So that would be a $16. That would be a $16 Electroneum. So we gotta get Electroneum to number 3, and then be in the right place and let it hit $16. And at $16, we'd all be very, very happy. But you gotta sell it. You gotta sell some of it. You gotta keep some. You gotta sell some of it. Rob Pastori, do you think Electroneum one day could reach 50 cents? Yes, I absolutely believe one day in the future we will absolutely hit 50 cents. That is based on as long as the crypto market doesn't just freaking implode or evaporate on its own and take everything with it. If Bitcoin evaporates, everything gets sucked into a black hole with it. That Electroneum is able to secure everything goes fine with the rollout for the AnyTask. They're able to secure some more partnerships with retailers, and if they get this governmental interaction that they're working on, that could be pretty significant. You know, if a particular government says we're gonna accept Electroneum as a valid currency in our national bank, and this particular country has is looked at as a leading country or a well-established country, other countries will feel far more comfortable to say yes, we'll accept it also, and it could snowball. And if that happens and it's considered and it ends up in the next 5 years, 10 years, 5 to 7 years, it's it spreads all over and it's considered as good as a valid currency through many countries and officially approved, a $10 Electroneum could happen. Or more. Yeah, I think I was calculating it out. Depending on where in the cycle that we are and how far out we're talking. But 8 years from now, it's possible. But don't hold your breath right now. Don't worry about it. It'll be what it'll be. We'll see all of these things happen. We'll see what happens. What I want is a 1 cent ETN. I want to see them. I want to double my money. So I want to see a double benefit. So let's get it over that 1 cent line, and let's get people using it. Let's people earning it, and it'll happen all by itself. You think about it. There's right now 9 billion coins. Right? All you need is 9 million people holding 1,000 coins. 9 million people, 1,000 coins. And all the coins are spoken for. Or you can have 900,000 people with 10,000 coins. 10,000 coins, not a whole lot. You can easily, at this price, you can easily get 10,000 coins. 900,000 people. Well, we got 3 million registered users. 900,000 of them held 10,000 Electroneum. All the coins are gone. You tell me. Ken Girls, do you think $5.20 ETN is that possible in the near future? No, in the future. Yes, in the distant future. Absolutely. In the distant future, it is possible. 8 years. It is possible. Don't know if it'll happen, but it's possible. He didn't say if it was probable. But it is possible. But not in the immediate future. Not in this year, not next year. It's going to be a while. Just hold on to them. H-Bomb says, yeah, I'd settle for 50 cents. Me too. I just want it over a penny. Just get back to 200 sats. Steven says, when I invest money in Electroneum, I am so happy with my investment. Well, good for you. You know, depending on when you bought it. You know, if you bought it at 6, you know, I believed in Electroneum. I was buying it at 6 cents and 3 cents. I paid 6 and 3 cents for a lot of my Electroneum, and I was glad to pay it. I thought it was worth the money. I was glad to pay 3 cents for it. I thought it was well worth 3 cents. So at a half a penny, you can be damn sure that I feel like I'm getting to buy a lifetime. And every time I get an extra $20, I make sure I pick up some. That's for me. Everybody else has to look at it and see what works for them. H-Mom goes, yeah, $10, the amount of money that come in would have to be massive. Yes, it would, because you're talking trillion. Yeah, you're talking a lot of cash. A lot of cash. And it's going to take quite a long time. Enrico sounds like my wife. He goes, yeah, I'll have to leave my crypto to my relatives when I pass away, but forgot to tell them how to access it because they will be clueless. It's like my wife. She goes, well, if something happens to you, how am I going to go? It's just a bunch of bullshit in the phone. How do I get it out of there? That's ridiculous. I don't know how to get it out of there. What am I supposed to do with it? It doesn't mean anything. She starts flipping out on me. So I'm like, I'll write directions. I'll make you a movie. I said, I do videos. I can make you a video. Rob says, Merry Christmas from Australia, Dino. Thanks for your vids. No problem, Roden. I'm glad you appreciate it. I appreciate that feedback. I'm glad that somebody gets some entertainment out of it or has some fun. It was, it's a lot of energy and time spent. And, as long as I have one person that feels like they got entertained or they learned something or it was of value to them, I'm happy about that. All right. Steven goes, yeah, but you could just have me mine with mine all 100 million coins, and that's it. Well, good luck with that. Let's see, H-Bomb here. Shame to see that the amount of miners has dropped off. It was nice to see momentum happening. Hopefully that'll increase in the new year. Are you talking? What coin are you talking about, H-Bomb? Because we can't mine Electroneum anymore. Only the NGOs can. So I'm hoping that you're talking about a different coin. If not, boy, do I got news for you. Steven says, right now is good. I overpaid for my XRP. Yeah, right now, if you bought in the last year, you've all overpaid. No matter what, doesn't matter if it's XRP or anything. We've all overpaid. And so now's the time to find those good projects, get the best price possible on them, and you should see when the time is right, there should be a nice benefit. But not every coin is going to survive. You see them dropping like flies. I think every week there's another coin that shuts down or gets abandoned or something. It's tough. It's tough on them because if they can't sell the coins, and they keep the bills going and pay the staff and everything, they end up closing up. All right. Oh, mobile miners. Yes. Okay, H-Bomb. Yeah. Yeah, we need. It's slowly picking up. You know, Brazil, they're getting more and more. You know, all the different countries are picking up. It's a slow progression, and you know, it gets talked about and shown, and people. That's why the referral system is pretty nice, because you know they go, hey, let me show you this, you know, and they go up to it, and you load up this app here, and then you can earn Electroneum, and you put my code in, and you can earn extra, and then the guy who referred him gets a little extra too, and you know, it takes time to, you know, you tell two friends, and he tells two friends, and they tell friends, and so on and so on and so on. Right now's the time to dig in deep, like Rocky and Rocky 2. Adrian! Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Alright, I have no idea, but I think we're hitting 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I could have swore I started at 9:30. Maybe one of you guys know. So, I'm going to thank all of you guys and give you all a big clap here. And thank all of you. I appreciate you guys spending the evening with me, letting me mumble and rattle, and I hope it was entertaining and you got some information out of it at the same time. And I will see you guys again. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I hope your holidays are awesome. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for me. If you've been on the channel this long and you've been watching me for 3 hours, I deserve a like. Make it happen. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye now.